Our next guest has lived quite an adventurous life. He has spent years traveling around the world doing covert missions for the CIA. It's amazing.
Yes, and he never thought he would be following a segment on bras. These days, Barry Eisler spends time taking readers on an adventure of their own through the pages of his thrilling novels. He's here today to talk about his latest book, the latest in the John Rain series, The Last Assassin. Please welcome Barry Eisler.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Thanks for being here.
Barry, welcome back to 10.
It's great to be back here. I never thought I'd follow a bra discussion, but I always hoped.
Now
I know
your
you do a lot of
wildest
research.
dreams are coming true.
You do a lot of research for all of your novels. I don't know if you're ever going to be able to work that information in at some point.
Anything for my art, Bill.
You have led a diverse life. You were just telling us you grew up in New Jersey.
That's right.
And now you're back sort of in the area.
Yeah. Go New Jersey.
Yeah.
Okay.
20% of our audience likes New Jersey.
Yeah, right.
Go ahead, you get clapped for New Jersey.
So how did you get from New Jersey to the CIA?
By way of Cornell University and Cornell Law School. I just got it into my head that this might be an interesting thing to do. Back then there was no internet, so I picked up some materials in the Career Center, made a phone call. One thing led to another, and the next thing I knew, I was in Langley.
What was that phone number? Is there a special phone number you call?
Yeah. You can find it in the Cornell Career Center.
Now you were doing incredibly difficult, life-threatening stuff in the CIA, and some of that stuff I imagine has found its way into these books.
Well, yeah, I don't think my life was ever really threatened, although
well, what exactly did you do for the CIA there, Barry?
I didn't do very much, really.
Can you talk about it?
It was a very interesting thing to do, and I definitely did learn a lot, both from the training and the experience of working in a big government organization that now informs the novels I write. So it was a great experience.
They put you through a lot of training, too.
Tell us what you you can tell us what you learned.
Well, the training is, there's paramilitary school, the SOTC, Special Operations Training Course, about 7 or 9 weeks. So it's what it sounds like. It's outward bound with guns. It's a good way to think of it. Most fun I've ever been paid to have.
Now, this central character in your books and in this latest book, John Rain, he's essentially a killer with a contract killer with a conscience. What does that mean? Explain that.
It means that Rain is not untroubled by what he does. He is an assassin. He does do these jobs, but if you kill at close range, unless you're a sociopath, it stays with you. It haunts you. Violence has a big impact on the person, not only who's on the wrong end of the violence, but also the perpetrator. Rain is troubled by the things he does, and that informs the character, which in turn drives the plots of the books.
And in this latest book, he's trying to have a normal life, but that doesn't quite work. Tell us a little bit about it without giving too much.
Don't tell too much, and I'll tell you why. Because you came on last year, Barry came on last year and brought us all a book, and I got around to reading it, and I loved it. And I went out and bought the first ones in the series, and I'm now on those first ones. So if I know too much about what's going on...
Don't give too much away.
Here, I'll do this.
Bill will get mad.
Just tell me when I need to plug my ears at the right time.
No spoilers here. How can I do this with no spoilers? At the end of the fourth book, there's a tiny spoiler, but not too much. At the end of the fourth book, Rain learns that he has fathered a child by a previous love interest, Midori Kawamura, a beautiful Japanese jazz pianist. In the second book, they weren't as careful as they ought to have been. And Rain learns that he has this child. So the new book, The Last Assassin, is it's a much more personal book. Rain is not on assignment. Midori and the child are under threat, and Rain has to do what he does best to try to protect them from the threat.
Now, how close is what we read in your novels to what's really going on in the world of government secrecy?
It's as real as I can make it, and a lot of the backstory in these books, a lot of the plot lines I lift from the headlines. I mean, people sometimes say there's nothing to write about post-Cold War. What are thriller novelists, espionage novelists, what are they going to do? All I have to do is read the paper. I'm overflowing with ideas. B teams in the Pentagon second-guessing the agency intelligence on Iraq. I mean, all this kind of competing government factions. There's so much you can draw on if you write the kind of fiction I do. It's not great news from the world's perspective, but from a novelist's perspective, there's a lot to work with.
So Barry Eisler may not have been an assassin, but John Rain has a lot of similarities. Love of jazz, single malt whiskey, and judo.
Yes.
You trained at one of the institutes for learning the martial arts.
I lived in Japan for 3 years, and during the first of those years in Tokyo, I trained obsessively at a place called the Kodokan International Judo Center, and I got my black belt in judo there. great experience, and that training also informs the action sequences in these books. Rain's much better at judo than I am.
Well, one of the things Rain does on his own, he practices judo all the time, but he's on the road as an assassin, out on jobs.
As all good assassins must be.
Right, and he has certain exercises he does, and in the book, I know you were thanking a bunch of people at the end of the book that I read, and it said that not only does John Rain practice these exercises, but the author does as well. And if people knew these exercises, equipment manufacturers would be out of business. Is that right?
Well, I did say that, yeah, and I think suddenly on the air I feel like, well, I like you equipment manufacturers. I want you to be able to make a living. But it's also true that a lot of times people think that to get a workout they need a whole, 5,000 square foot gym and a lot of expensive machinery. Really all you need is your body, a floor, and gravity, and you can get a damn good workout in.
Well, as a fan, I've been dying to know what those exercises are.
I'll be happy to talk about
And I'd like to kind of learn a judo mark too. Will you stick around and show me a little bit?
I would love to.
Okay.
Great.
We're back with Barry Eisler after the break. A little judo, a little exercise, and who knows? Maybe we'll survive. And you're doing a book signing tonight at Barnes & Noble.
Yes.
Tonight at 7:30 in Bryn Mawr, right on Lancaster Avenue. We'll be right back with more with Barry Eisler.
Hi, I'm Katie.
Welcome back to 10. Before the break, we talked to former CIA agent Barry Eisler about his brand new book, The Last Assassin. Well, John Rain, the main character, is a judo expert and a guy who knows how to stay in shape. So Barry, who's also a judo expert, surprisingly, yes, your name was never Rain, right?
I wouldn't call myself Rain's more of an expert than I am.
Okay.
I have a
Well,
black belt. I have a black belt.
That's, ladies and gentlemen, a black belt in the house. Suddenly, the first row is very nervous. All right, what would you? Should we do the exercises first or the judo? You tell me. Judo. Okay, the audience. Do I need here? Let me take my jacket off for this.
Okay. I'll take mine off too.
Oh, I think you're there already. So what do I need to know?
All right, I'll tell you what. I'm going to show you. This is a grappling move. You could adapt it from judo, Western-style wrestling. In fact, I learned this in high school wrestling, but it's for me a very nice self-defense move. The beauty of a self-defense move like this is that you can practice it quickly, repetition by repetition. So it means you can get good quickly. Okay? So all it is, somebody goes to push you, jab a finger, grab a wrist, grab a shoulder, whatever, you can do this thing. So Bill, if you just push me, and it's just a circle drag, it's like this. It's not complicated. But the move...
Did you see? I'm going to need to see that in slow-mo.
So the move is nice, but again, what's beautiful about it, and I'll show you in a second, is how rapidly you can progress to practicing it quickly, repetition by repetition. So again, it's just here, and then here, and then now I can do anything I want with Bill. Anybody have any suggestions?
Just like everybody else in the building.
So, but how do you practice something like that? So what we're going to do is I want Bill to just push one hand, then the other, and we'll show how fast you can practice repetitions, because that's the only way to get good at something like this, by rote, repetitions. So one arm, and then the other arm, and the other arm, as fast as you can. As fast as you can. Go faster. You can go faster now.
All right, obviously you're in very good shape. We don't have a whole lot of time, but show me some of the exercises that John Rain does when he's on the road.
These are John Rain's exercises. He learned them from a guy named Matt Fury from, who does something called combat conditioning, combatconditioning.com. Simple, body weight calisthenics. All you need is your body, a floor, and gravity, and you've always got those things, right? So just a few. It's like squats. We can all do squats, right? That's a squat.
So how many?
Just like that.
So just.
Well, Matt Fury does hundreds. I do maybe 800. Yeah, it's just swing.
800? Well, my goodness.
No, 800.
Oh, 100.
100.
Okay.
Yeah,
well,
it varies. So that's one.
Okay.
And you can do lunges, right? I mean, how much room do you need for this? I stay in a lot of cramped hotel rooms when I'm on the road. I try to do this stuff. It really helps.
Are the rooms in Japan a little smaller than they are around
you can
here?
even do these in a Japanese business hotel room. I know, for a fact. So,
but if you do these in an airport, you might have trouble, I suppose. They'll come looking for you. It's like, what is he doing?
I have had to explain myself more than once.
One last one.
Okay, one last one. What Matt Fury calls Hindu push-ups, butterfly or caterpillar push-ups, judo push-ups, whatever you want to call them. They're like this. They're great for your arms, your back, your neck. You look up at the ceiling, you come back, and again, up at the ceiling. Great stretch. It's good for your chest, your arms, your shoulders. It's great for everything.
Are you wearing special underwear or something that allows you to do that?
A special bra. I'm wearing the Kiss Me cleavage bra.
Do you have to?
Should I not say that on live television?
I'm going to leave you alone in the green room later on, okay? You're on your own, especially after that judo move. The Last Assassin on the bookshelves right now.
Yes.
Check him out at Barnes & Noble in Bryn Mawr on Lancaster. Barry Eisler.
Thank you.
Welcome back.
Very good to see you.
You didn't do it that time.
Look how good he is.
The 10 Show crew gets around.